How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the community farm. So we are just taking delivery of our brand new JCB. So you guys have voted that we get the JCB, but you also said that if we're gonna get it, we might as well get the big one. Now, in all honesty, I would have gone the other direction. I would have gone for the medium one, but that doesn't really matter. I don't make the decisions here, and I'm very happy with my new tractor. So, it was very expensive. It was a whopping $306,000. And we're down to $32,000. But, yeah, that's not really my problem. That's your problem. So, yeah, no need to worry about that on my side. But, yeah, this is a lovely tractor. It's very noisy. It's very loud. But, yeah, we are going to be putting it straight to use anyway. We're going to go grab the big flatbed trailer. And we are gonna get the last of the productions that's still sort of sitting around, loaded up and sold. Just because it's been sitting around for a bit too long and it just sort of looks untidy, and I just want to sort of deal with it and get rid of it. Also, we've got the new machine in there, the lime machine, and some of the crates are a little bit in the way there, so I want to get rid of them so we can get to the machine a little bit easier. So we're going to be making a bit of lime today, just to sort of see how that all works. We've got a load of rocks down there that we can use, so that'll be good. And I also want to do a bit of seeding, if we can, on the field that we limed. I think we're going to be doing barley over there. That was the last suggestion, and it's basically going to go towards chicken feed, so I think that's a good idea. We'll be doing that. And, yeah, other than that, well, we'll see where we sort of go. It all depends on time, really. Yeah, I think the JCB is going to do really well on the farm. It's a bit in an awkward space now that we have the bigger one, because this actually has more power than the big Massey. So that's a bit weird. I would have gone for the medium one myself, because then you're sort of in the range of, well, above the John Deere, but it'll be able to do everything that the John Deere does, because you can put a front loader on that. And I would have sold the John Deere and got that JCB. And it's almost as quick as this. The benefit of this one, of course, is the weight and power and a slight speed advantage over the smaller one. And that will really help when we do tow around the really big trailers, because we do have those two massive trailers and there's a lot of weight in them when they're loaded up. So this will handle that better. So it's not like a bad decision. I just think it's a bit of an awkward decision, but yeah, anyway, we are going to get all of this loaded up, and I think we are going to use the forklift. We haven't actually used this yet. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So I want to use that. I haven't used it purely because I kind of forgot that we had it until someone said that maybe we should sell it since it's not getting used. But yeah, we'll use this to load up. It'll actually be a lot easier to load those crates with this rather than the John Deere, because the John Deere you sort of have to guess the height of the forks, and in exterior view I kind of struggle with loading, and with interior view you can't see the forks, so you have to sort of hit the ground and then come up a little bit and sort of guess where you're at in terms of the height of the fork. So it's a little bit on the awkward side, and this should make it a lot easier because it should just be, yep, straight, normal, up and down. I've been really enjoying using the forklift over at the mill in the roleplay. That's such a fun forklift. It's sort of an off-roady style forklift, and it moves around pretty quickly, and it's just a massive amount of fun. I do like it. But yeah, anyway, in other news, of course, you probably would have seen by now the announcement video, or you might have joined in on the announcement live stream this week, and I have gone full-time on YouTube and Twitch with videos and live streaming, so I'm very excited for that. I'm very nervous about it, but yeah, I think it's going to be really, really good. I actually parked a bit awkward there because I need to get into both sides because this doesn't have the reach. But anyway, that's fine. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm quite nervous about it, but very excited about it. And I have to be honest that I probably wouldn't have made the decision to try this full time if it wasn't for Monique. She's really been pushing me into that direction. She's been amazingly supportive, so a massive thank you to her. And I mean, obviously I want to do it, but I tend to be very, very conservative. And yeah, she's just like, no, you can do this. It'll be perfect. It'll be good. And yeah, so she's been absolutely amazing. And anytime that I've had any doubts, she's just been like, no, it'll be good. It'll be fine. And yeah, so that's been amazing. And I am really, really looking forward to it. There's a lot of work that needs to go in this. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to uphold the schedule of 7 days a week, because a lot of the content that I do make does take a lot of time. And also I have been having that little bit of technical issues in terms of recording. It's on the recording side, it's not the game. The game performance overall I find to not be amazing, and that's not really helping. But that's not really the problem. I've sort of figured the game out. I did some upgrades to my equipment, which really made a big difference in terms of the game performance, which is nice. Again, it's not perfect, like there's a bit of a stutter here and there, but it's nothing major. You really have to look for it to notice it, so not too worried about that. Unfortunately, like I say, I haven't been able to really solve the issues that I've been having in terms of the recording side of things, and I am completely at a loss. I don't know where to go from here. Something just doesn't want to sort of work with my PC, and it's sort of a recent issue. Well, when I say recent, probably the last few months. Never had this issue before, and I haven't been able to resolve it. So I think it might be sort of either the software itself is disagreeing with something within my setup, or maybe I just have a hardware issue somewhere that I just cannot find. But anyway, it's not a massive problem. I can work around it. It does slow things down a little bit, so I'm a little bit worried about that in terms of the time frame. But then also with like the role plan, that they are obviously quite complex videos to record and to plan for and to prep and yeah, just to edit. So it's a very time consuming thing, and then on top of that you're doing thumbnails and everything. So I don't know, I'm really gonna try and do a video every day as soon as I possibly can. Obviously on top of that is going to be a lot of live streaming as well. And if you haven't seen any of the videos around that yet, basically the plan is that I want to put out obviously a video every day, but also I'm going to live stream almost every day. So Mondays and Tuesdays is sort of like a maybe live stream if things go really smoothly with recordings on those 2 days, because that's when I'm going to be doing the most difficult recordings, like the role plays. And I don't want to schedule live streams for those days, because I need the most time available to me than I can possibly have. So no scheduled live streams on those 2 days, but if things go really well on those days in terms of recording and editing, and I do have time, then I'll do some live streaming at night. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays will be morning live streams, so sort of 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock my time, which is UK time, or Irish time, which is GMT +1. And yeah, about 9 o'clock till around 10:30, 11, depending on how much I have to get done on those days. And then Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I'll be doing night streams, so from about 8 o'clock onwards. And like I said in the video as well, this is all just sort of an initial plan. We'll see how it actually works out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'll have to just sort of fine-tune it and figure out something that does work. That is going to fall off there, but anyway, we'll get it strapped down. But yeah, that is basically the plan, at least, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm very excited for it. I am very nervous about it, but I think everything will be just fine. Anyway, we are going to get the last of this loaded up and sold. And we're not gonna record or time-lapse the selling because there's really not much here and we're not going to get much for it. And it's a long way to drive. So it'll just be a little bit boring and pointless, to be honest. So I'm going to get this loaded up, sold, and we'll come back to the farm and we'll get a bit of work done. Alright, so we are going to get into seeding. But I also want to get into that liming machine today and figure that out. But I don't know if we're going to get to it. We'll see how we go after this field. So again, we are going to be putting barley into that big field there, and it's all going to be basically chicken feed. Is not going to be for selling. We do also have wheat and barley on the other two fields that are sort of behind the shed here. We're fairly good on seed and fertilizer. We'll see if that's enough to get this field done. We're close by if we need to go refill. But yeah, I think yeah, those two fields, this first one is wheat and the other one's barley, but they're fairly small, and by the looks of it, we're going to end up with 1 million chickens, so we're going to need a lot of food for them. So this is going to be a barley field for that as well. At least that is the plan for now. But we are going to get the GPS set up for this field, and I'll probably do a headland or two, and we're going to jump into a real quick time lapse. We're going to get this knocked out. So for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, so that is job done, and we are just down at the river here, trying to sort of get out of here. Yeah, this thing does not have a huge amount of power, but basically what I'm doing is getting free water. So we need to get some water into that lime machine, and water's quite expensive, and we pay for that at our little tap thing that we have up on the farm. So I thought I'd give it a go and see if we can get some water out of the river, and we can, and it's free, so that's nice. We'll be doing that from now on. But anyway, we're gonna get water into that thing, and it's actually really nice to get water out of there as well for the greenhouses, because we do lose quite a bit of money from the water, and it's also an easier drive. This thing really jumps around quite a bit with the weight behind it. Doesn't like that at all. Some of you have suggested that we sell our little New Holland tractor here, and I mean, either way, I don't really mind. I don't think it's worth much. We can check, but I don't think it's worth much in terms of selling it. And I know that we don't really use it that much around the farm. The only reason I really put it on the farm in the first place is because it's a nice little utility tractor for things like this. To sort of cart water around or put some trailers away, keep the yard sort of nice and neat. It's quite handy with the little attacher at the front there, that little thing, to use for dolly trailers, to reverse dolly trailers into spots. It's so much easier to hook up to the front of a small tractor that's nice and maneuverable. And yeah, I sort of use it for that sort of a thing. It's just a utility tractor is what it is. It doesn't really do farm work. That's why it's also got sort of more road-style tires on it. It's just for around the farmyard, keeping things sort of neat and tidy and cleaned up. I don't know why that is actually running when there's no stones in it, but anyway, hopefully it doesn't use up all of the water. Yeah, I kind of like the little utility tractor here. I think it's just nice to have it around the farm. Like I say, if you guys want to sell it, we can sell it. I mean, it's your choice at the end of the day. Like I say, it doesn't get used that much, but when it does get used, it's quite useful. And yeah, quite nice to have around the farmyard. Anyway, those are the stones down there that we're going to throw in there. So I've got the John Deere down here. So we'll grab that. I've got the big bucket on there, but I don't think it'll be able to lift a full bucket of stones. That is a big bucket, and obviously stones are quite heavy, so I don't think it'll cope with the weight. It does have the big weight on the back, 2.5 ton if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, that's quite sensitive in reversing. But yeah, this little tractor also has a front loader that's sitting up in the shed, so if we want to move sort of small quantities of bales, or if we're busy with the John Deere somewhere and we just want to feed the cows or something like that real quick, we can always use this as well with the front loader on it. So yeah, I don't know, I think it's a handy little thing to just have around. It's one of those sort of nice to haves, not a necessity, but nice to have. Right, anyway, the John Deere still has the skinny wheels on it, but I think we're probably going to keep them on there, because if we start doing spraying and fertilizer spreading and stuff like that on the fields, we'll probably use this again. But yeah, let's see how much weight this thing can actually lift. I think probably only about half a bucket. Alright, that's 60. Let's go with 60, because that seems quite heavy already. If I move that around, the back wheels are already coming off the ground, so I don't think it's going to take more than about 60% full. I mean, stones are really heavy, and that's a big weight on the back there, so I'm actually surprised that it can only take about half a bucket. I mean, again, you would expect it, to be very heavy, but that is extremely heavy. Right, I don't really know how much we'll get in terms of lime off of these stones, and I'm very curious to know, because someone did say that you should be able to lime a field that the rocks came off. So let's say this field over here, we collect all of the stones, we throw it in there, we get the lime, we should be able to lime that entire field with that amount of stone. Now, that kind of makes sense, but also at what level of stones? Because there's 3 or 4 different levels of stone that you can have on the fields in terms of like density and I think size as well. So I'm guessing when it's as bad as it can get, that's basically when it'll give you enough to lime an entire field. But I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Right, that didn't really do much. Lime? Stones? Lime. Water just dropped down? But the quantity remained the same, okay. Right, that might need a trailer. Do we need to do anything in here in terms of settings? No, that does... Oh, activate. Running. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, that needs to be running for that to work. Is it running? I don't know. Maybe it needs a trailer? It doesn't look to be doing anything really. But let's go get another load. And... I don't know. Maybe we should go get a trailer? Alright, so I kind of thought about getting another... Oh, that's too much. Dump some of that out. That should do. Yeah, I was thinking about getting a trailer and seeing if that helps, but then I went back to the menu and I sort of realized that we need 2,000 liters of stone in there for it to actually do anything. So we just need another bucket, essentially. So we're going to do that. Get some in there. We should be around 3,000 liters then. And yeah, that should get it going. I want to see how much it can actually store, just for interest's sake. That would be quite handy if it just had sort of internal storage. It probably does, but yeah, we'll see. If not, we'll just put a trailer there, no big deal. But I just want to sort of figure this out, see how this whole setup actually works. Okay, this should get it going, I think. Yeah, it sounds like it's doing something. Let's have a look. Oh, activate. Alright, so we've got 3,000 liters and 6,000 liters, and we need 2,000 and 1,200. Oh, there we go. It's storing. So, yeah, I wonder how much it'll actually store in there. Probably a few thousand at least. Okay, cool. So that's just sort of gonna work away and do its thing, which is nice. Yeah, probably just take a little bit of time. But yeah, I think that's gonna be really, really cool. Oh, that's a light on the end there. The sort of outlet is down there. I thought that was the outlet. Anyway, yeah, we'll see how that goes anyway, but it's going to take a little bit of time. But we are going to leave it there for today, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all next time.